All right, welcome to the NBA Championship edition of Sports by Cap, episode number 30. We've made it to the end of the salary cap situation series where we've been talking about every team in the NBA and their salary cap situation. And now this is kind of the final stop for this series in terms of the salary cap situation. Um, The Oklahoma City Thunder are the 2025 NBA champions, so congratulations to them on a great job and a great season. They played tremendously well in the finals, and hats off again to the Pacers, which was the previous episode, for doing such a great job and just really, taking it 7 games, making it very entertaining. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so let's head over to Fanspo and take a look at what the Thunder need to do to go forward and what the future looks like. Is it bright? Is it bleak? Is it in between? What exactly do they need to do to continue to be a championship team, etc.? So let's take a look. So I've been reading different things, listening to talking heads, and the Thunder need to tear down the roster. They don't have enough room. They don't have enough flexibility, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Let's put all that to rest now. So Chet Holmgren has a $13.7 million team option, and let's give him a new contract for 1 year. Okay? And then we're gonna opt into all these, right? And again, I just want to see where we're at cap wise. We're at 15 players, so we don't need any of these cap holds. I can let these guys go. And I'm going to give Chet $30 million for, let's just give him 32, and let's see what that looks like. So let's do 34 and then 36. Actually, let's do 36 and then 40. And let's see where the cap ends up with that. And so let's save that. Okay. So we'll give him a 1 year deal just to kind of clean him up. Okay, and then team option. So let's do this guy first. And this is why the Thunder acquired so many draft picks, so that they can retool and rebuild on the fly. So let's do that. Let's do this one. $3 million. Okay. Any more team options? Okay, this is a team option, and that should be the end of it. Okay. So we'll give him a 2 year deal. So it's going to be $5 million and then $7 million. Okay, and then let's look at our payroll. Okay, so you see here. So I just want to show you something. So I gave Chet Holmgren kind of an imaginary extension, right? So 32 million, 36, and then 40, right? He might get less or more. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The point is, you just want to see where the numbers are, right? The thing you have to remember about the salary cap, and this is why when people get wild about, oh my gosh, the Thunder are over, they're not going to be able to rebuild, they're going to do the same thing they did with James Harden. I think they learned from that experience. Okay, they didn't know that the cap was going to spike, etc. Okay, so I think they've rebounded quite well from that and done a great job. So if we look at this, and I need to give Jalen Williams, where's Jalen Williams? Okay, here he is. And this is the other cat that supposedly is a $30 million player. So we're going to give him a 4-year deal. I'm going to give him $6 million here, 32, 34, and actually 36. I'm going to do the same deal as Chet. And then we're going to give him $40 million. And let's just see how that looks with on our books. Okay? So again, okay, so the payroll gets high here, right? But look, you see, I give him 32.7, same exact deal as Chet, right? We're at $215 million, okay? But that's next year, and this would be right below the second apron, okay? Hardenstein, and Dort have big numbers right now, but they may have to opt out of those deals and rework them, give them a longer term deal for the same money, but just a smaller amount. This one, Caruso's going to have to get traded eventually, because that's going to be a luxury tax issue. If you give SGA $70 million, that basically puts them at $200 million. Okay? Now, they can make it work because the salary cap's going up every year. So they can keep this team together, and I believe if they do that, they got a championship window of however long they want to have. So, and if some of the role players get too much, they could trade those role players and draft their replacements, which to lower numbers. And then you rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So I think that the Thunder, their future is bright. They are the NBA champions after all. So let's not forget that they just got this done and they did a great job. And would they make a move? Would they do any trades? No. I wouldn't do any trades. I would keep this team the way it is. The only thing I would do is opt out of Dort and Hardenstein next year. Kenrick Williams, I don't even know what that is, but Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren are both going to get new contracts. You have to give them 5-year deals. SGA is going to get a new contract, whatever he wants. He's the MVP of the finals, the league. He's hit every benchmark to get a Supermax contract. It's crazy numbers, but look, if you hit all the benchmarks, then you've done what you need to do to get the bag, right? So you got to pay him. You're not going to let him go. If it was me, what I would do is I would run it out for 2 years, see how we do next year and the year after, and then decide. I think they'll give him the Supermax. They did it with Westbrook. They gave Paul George an extension. If they have good players, I think that they would commit to that and do what they need to do. I don't know that they've been in the luxury tax that much, but if you have a championship team, why not try to do that? The other thing that was thrown out there is they could all take they could all take slight haircuts, instead of taking the max. Let's say instead of $32 million, you take $25 million. Holmgren takes $25 million. And instead of $70 million, he takes $60 million or $50 million. Take a haircut off. And it depends on SGA. If he wants to maximize his earnings, he can do that. But, the contracts are crazy in the NBA right now. So, because the TV money's coming in, they're getting, I think, like $4 or $5 billion for the players and for the owners. So the money's there. So, if that's what it is, you know. So the teams, I think it's more than that. Let me see. Let me just see what it is. Okay, it's $76 billion. Okay. So it's 6.9 divided by 2. So it's 3. Okay, divided by 30. Okay, so every team is getting $100 million. Okay. That's per year. So every team gets $115 million. And over 10 years, that's $1 billion. Okay, and then the owners get that other money for the salary cap. So the first $152 million is covered by the media rights money. Then they get a check for $115 million on top of that. So if you look at it, they're getting about, I think that, let's just say that the salary cap is $140 million. It would be, they're getting a check for $255 million. So they're doing fine. So I think that the Thunder have a bright future. And if I was them, I would just literally invest in this roster if you want to win multiple championships. If not, you already won the chip, so you don't need to do anything else. They could just literally tear it down and get draft picks and start over. But I think that SGA is kind of their cornerstone, and then everybody else is a piece that works around them. But they are so young and so, like, I think they got a 5-year window to win. You know, especially once you lock everybody down and you see what the cap is and all that. And if they can squeeze them in, yeah, you can make a trade, but why? Why would you mess up the chemistry that they have? I mean, they have a really good thing going. I wouldn't mess that up for anything. So, there you go. Thanks for checking out this championship episode here on YouTube with Sports by Cap. Be sure to check out the latest videos from the show right here, and also subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get an update anytime we upload new content, and check out the latest videos from this series, the Salary Cap Situation series, right here.